be with all you distinguished part of the distinguished panel, and really enlightening to have the insights from Raghavendra and Srini. And I could resonate with whatever they have said so far, because I come from sales side, right? And I have worked across the industries. I work with across the LOBs, across the organizations. So all the pain points and insights which you have shared, I can closely resonate with you. Now the pitch comes in. Even though some of the startups names you mentioned, Srini, they were my customers, some part of my journey. And I
Okay.
know how that journey was, right? So pitch really matters. What you are saying, how you are pitching in, right? So pitch is not depends on how many slides you have in your deck. It may
True.
be two slides, as Srini had, as Raghavendra had, hardly three slides, but they communicated what they want to communicate, and they created the impact, and we have the insights to take away with us. So it doesn't matter how many slides you have, but what you are communicating, right? So that's my first thing to when you start the winning pitch writing. I'll go this way. What? It is not going to another slide for me.
We are able to see.
Okay, can you
You
see?
can go to next maybe.
Okay, can you see another? Say next one.
No, not till now.
So use arrow button. I think.
Yeah, arrow button you can use.
Arrow button use it. It will
Okay.
come. Down arrow button.
It's not functioning for me.
Don't wonder, I will cut this part back, Siri. But yeah, you can continue with your pitch. Maybe if you were able to share again and.
No, but it will not go to another slide, no?
Okay.
You will take the control. I'll speak, that's fine.
Okay, let me just see. Yeah, you can continue. Let me just check. Yeah, download your slides.
Yeah. So it's again, as I rightly said, number of decks or slides doesn't matter, right? It's like because these days funding doesn't happen that easily, because investors are very cautious. They choose quality over quantity, right? You must have seen the Zoho way, how they focus on the profitability and how they are going to expand in the market. And that's the way that helped them, instead of chasing the huge valuation or massive valuations, they were more focused on the profitability and how their product is going to fit the market. Because that is very important. What is the customer problem you are solving, right? And that's the way you built up the, I'll say, genuine value for your product, and that's the way you survive. It doesn't vanity metrize you have put this X number and will meet the Y number. And that's the way you will put the quality as well. So that's very important, how you are projecting your value to them. So when you create the narrative for your pitch, there are 4 problems. As Srini mentioned, right? Between 0 to 10 journey, your problem statement is very important. How you identify the pain point, right? So pain point, as if he said, how Zero the identified the pain point, and then how they mitigate that pain point in the POC phase. They take the feedback, right? And that's the way solution. In the solution, they create the value. Yeah, I'm bringing this value, and this will help. And then what is the revenue model you are coming up with? How you are monetizing? How you are having the repeat business coming in, because that plays very vital role when you are doing the revenue projection, when you are giving the growth projections to the investor. And when you say that, yeah, I will have the XYZ revenue now, and I will scale up to XYZ revenue. So that time you should have the how you will scale up, how will have your backend or system will be ready. But at times when you do that pitch, it is not required. You should have that system ready that time itself. It may be possible you may have to give those hypothetical how you will scale up, but you should have the backup for that. So as we have seen, Srini mentioned the Paytm story, right? How they scale up. So strategic partnerships are very important these days. As we say, collaboration is in need of an hour, whether it's a technology, whether it's a business. If we don't collaborate with your partners, way Flipkart has scaled up. They've collaborated with the WS Retail, and that helped them in the market expansion, because you don't have to invest everywhere. That has to be a strategic partnership, has to be mutually benefited, right? Where Paytm has collaborated with all the banks across India, right? So you have that scalability, that flexibility, and you are addressing the customer's problem also. If you go remotest area also, because they are connected with PSUs, private banks, so you don't have to worry about whether my transaction will fail, subject to the network availability or other glitches, but it works, right? And that's the way you create the double value for your investors. And it doesn't happen, it's just both the partners has to come on the value proposition on that. So that is very important, and you don't drain the resources. When you do that, you have the resources on your availability. You don't have to drain your resources, so that plays very vital role when you have this planning in place. And matrices, which matters to the investor, I must say, because we come from the sales, right? So how investor will look at that? Because as Srini also mentioned, one of the last statement, right? It doesn't matter how many downloads you have done, but how many active users you have, because that gives you the revenue share coming in on regular basis. And that's your, I'll say, loyal customer. And that's the basic foundation of any organization, especially for startups. It plays very vital role, because investors look at very pivotal role on that, how you have that as of now to begin with. So one of the founder was asked, how many downloads you have? So he said, I have 1 million downloads. But then investor asked, how many active users you have? So there was a silence. So in that case, startups need to focus on what is your retention rate, how many users stay engaged with your product, because that plays very vital role. If it's 70% or around that, so that gives you edge over the competition per se. Then customer acquisition ratio, what is you have? It's 30% something, lower customer acquisition cost, because again, you are retaining your customers, so that definitely reduces your customer acquisition cost. So that plays again vital role. And double lifetime value, right? How the growth is happening, how you are expanding. As Srini gave the example of Zomato, how they have put in the Blinkit to grow and have that expansion coming. So what is the vision, or what is the future plan you have, or how you are planning for that? So have these parameters in place, that helps.
Baxity, just interrupt. Can you just let me know if slide was visible to you?
1 minute.
I'm sharing my slide. Just let me know.
Now it's visible to me.
Which slide you want to go? Just let me know. This is fine?
Yeah. Narrative, yeah. Go resilience and agility, you go on. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So as of all of you know, now Airbnb is the very favorite brand for all of us when we travel. I myself travel a lot. I used to solo traveler, so I prefer Airbnb. It's very comfortable and having different experience coming in. So 2008, Airbnb started. Hardly there was investors interested in investing in the startup, right? But they prefer to be stayed there, because they used to believe in what vision or what solution they are looking for, and how they are going to benefit to the customer. So what they keep on doing, they keep on changing their strategy, depends on market feedback. As Srini said, right? Customer feedback is very important when you started exploring your product with the customer feedback. So Airbnb started evolving with the customer market feedback continuously. And in that case, what they do, they deliver cereal boxes also, because that time they didn't have funds, right? So they have to evolve, they have to keep going. So they build the resiliency, right? And that's the way they were there. And what that helped them, Y Combination gave them the backing, gave them the funds, and that helped their Airbnbs today. So that's the way we have to build resiliency and agility. We don't have to give up. When failures happen or some obstacles come in, so we have to overcome those obstacles or failures. So that's a very basic of the startup systems, I must say. And I have seen a lot of startups doing that and getting over all that. Risha, next slide. Yeah. So building your investor narrative, there are 4 basic, I'll say, fundamentals, right? As you say, clear market size, because every industry has some growth happening. You will have certain data points, right? So when you give the investors market size, what is the market size you are planning, how you are reaching out to them. So give them the proper statistic data proven by or whatever, as you said, customer feedback, your growth statistic, give that. That gives them the confidence, right? Because your product is that when you give the statistics, you're telling the investor why they should use your product, why now and why you, because that makes the compulsory statement for them. Then repeatable sales model, because again, more the repeatable sales model you have, more the confidence investor has, because the investor knows you have created the value, and definitely a customer is not going to go, they will come back to you, and that will have the more growth coming in. Then unit of economics, right? There is a particular path to profitability, and that happens with the sustainable fundamentals. As Raghavendra mentioned, as Srini mentioned, there are fundamentals if it's strong, like as you said, your processes, your people. So they know that growth will be sustainable. It is not happening all of a sudden. It is happening. It will be consistent. So that's again another important measure to have that narrative become more stronger. And strategic partnership, as I said before, because what happens, they know that the vision, you have that vision, right? Whom do I collaborate with? So that that growth is, I'll say, visible, and they see you have the vision for your growth as well. Next slide, Richa. And three pillars of, I'll say, three pillars of your narration as well, right? Trust is very important. How you build the trust. It's your transparent communication, basically, because initially it is a founder, right? So whatever founder is communicating or whatever he's building up the policies in his organization, that shows how trustworthy he is. Because investment is always fund, right? It's money. So that's a basic thing need to be taken care of. And traction, again, how you are going the revenue, going to grow the revenue, how you are going to be resilient in that transaction while that is growth is going to happen, because there will be hiccups, right? But nothing is smooth and easy when you do or when you build up something. So that has to be, and how agile you will be in this journey. So that another thing has to be. Then again, tenacity, as I mentioned, and you how you grow your customers as well, right? Revenue wise, what is the measurable market validations, right? When you are growing, so which segment you are targeting, what are those segments which you are targeting, are they relatable to the growth? So all these parameters you put in across, so that makes compelling statement for the investors. Yeah, next slide, Richa. So investor checklist, right? Build, learn, and adopt. As Srini said, right? We build the product. When we build the product, so we are addressing some pain point, which is useful to the customer. So when it is useful to the customer will like to use it, right? And how you will learn then? Because when you learn, you need to be, I'll say, you have to fall back very fast, right? Failures will be there, but how fast you learn from these failures? You can't able, you are not affordable to give up on the failures. So how quick you learn from those failures and adapt, because when you quickly learn, so how that implement your system, processes, whole hierarchy per se, right? And you don't divert away from your core vision. Suppose I say ki Zomato's vision is like, I'll have the food delivery done within 10 seconds, 15 seconds, however. So whenever failures happen, some changes happens, am I going to move away from that, my customer experience, or what my narrative vision was there? So we should, as a startup founder, we should not move away, or as a startup, we should not move away when this failures happens or some hiccups happens. So we need to stay there. So these basic fundamentals plays a vital role when you prepare that bit. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so rewrite your story. Why did I say? Because it's very easy to say, but when you write down those points, make those presentation decks, and you stand in front of the investor, and when you have to answer these difficult questions, Srini must have gone through that because he's related and work in the various startup founders, right? So he knows how it goes. So resiliency and customer law, you don't find as of now coming in your pitch. So make it sure how will rewrite that, because that plays very vital role. Because if they know that there is a customer love is there for your product and you are resilient, you can adopt and you can bounce back, right? So that gives the confidence to the investor, and at the same time, it makes your narrative very impactful. So if it's not there, really work on that. And always keep in mind, pitching is not about the investor or getting investment. It is you are creating the believers. If they believe in your concept and they find you trustworthy, there is a tenacity is there, and all these basic factors comes in, you are creating the believer and they will invest in you. They will not go anywhere. So creating that belief through your day is very important. So I believe all of us can create that pitch because we come from the industry and we know these nuances, right? So we are here there to support, to create that winning pitch. Thank you.
I think thank you to you, Vaxiri. I think you have just given the correct example. Your pitch is not just about the slides, but it's a story of trust, traction, and tenacity, right? So that is the important how you have covered even now, right? Because that's what we are even looking. Because this is the problem. Sometimes even as a startup we face whenever we are going to pitch somewhere, some technical glitch can also come, right? That is the real example sometimes we cover, but how you overcome with confident, right? With your intentions and you with for your product idea, right? That is very important. So that is the important point. I think we can close the lightning sessions, but yeah, we can go for the panel discussions. And Raghavendra, are you still there with us?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Yes, yes. Okay, Bhagsri, can you come on the video if possible? And
Yeah, I'm on
Srini,
video. You
She's
can't
already
see.
there.
I'm already
is,
there.
is it so you are sharing somewhere screen?
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. Now I think, let me check. Meanwhile, anyone has a question, just keep. I am just getting Bhagsri on the our viewer thing.
I have a question. This is Prashant here. Uh, yes, I am seeing a lot of co-founder related openings these days in LinkedIn or any job related portals. So I have a question. I have done my CTO program from IIT Kanpur, and let's say I want to apply for this co-founder, or somebody has approached me. Why don't you join us as a co-founder? Now, how do how do I know whether this startup is like good for me? Are there any like set of points or rules which I have to consider before joining that as a co-founder? Because once I say yes to that, there are so many legal implications that come into, because I joined there as a co-founder, and everything will be like registered under government rules and regulations. So I'll not be able to come out of these things saying that no, I don't want to continue as a co-founder, I'm quitting. So that doesn't happen, not like a regular employee. So are there any pointers that you would like to suggest in this scenario?
So the question I can take up with the people centric, right? If I wanted to, because
Sure.
I don't know the product,
Sure,
but if I
Ravindra, thanks for
people
that.
centric, definitely, this is a very, while choosing any of the journey, right? You are joining it's just not employment, just join and leave. It is not. It is that age is already gone, right? So while choosing this organize, maybe the team, the co-founder along with the founder, you should be ensuring that, and maybe you should have to do some background of the research, the organization, definitely, because looking at along it, as I told you, HR is not only as a people hiring people, joining the people, but is this the compliant? Because tomorrow you should not be under the situation where, okay, this organization may not able to right fit for you, right? On the people centric standpoint, right? How the culture is being built, whether that culture is going to be, you are able to adapt. So everything has to be changed. Maybe each organization have a different culture, but Prashant can adopt that culture. So that's something which you have to be, think, give a kid, full thought. Those where maybe you can go back and check on that how exactly is in functioning happening, and based on that, I recommend to choose, because these are all experiences which we had seen only along with the employment of the founder side also, right? When I'm choosing my person, then definitely I'm looking at, okay, is this Prashant is right fit for me? But I'm at the expectation. Prashant also looking at me the same, whether am I joining Raghavendra is right fit for me to take my journey for the longer. So I personally feel one is what system says or the data says. The second one is what as a people centric the emotions also matter for it. So this is a journey to be choose. Look at on the both the side of the organization, and I think select that something is important.
Thanks, Raghavendra.
Thank you, Raghavendra. I think Srini, you are still there. Okay, maybe he is, I think, switch off the camera. Okay, so I
No,
think
I'm here only.
I think if anyone is switching off the video, there was, I think, in my side some problem. I'm not able to recognize them. Yeah, so we are moving towards the panel discussions around this topic, people, pitch, and product. So first question is with you, Srini. Still, I think you are there only. So how you are deciding between the speed of
Mhm.
innovations versus the scalable
Mhm.
architecture, considering that nowadays how AI is growing, right? Day to day,
Correct.
we have a lot of innovations. So what is your thoughts for that speed of innovations? How it is going to change the startups?
Definitely. I think, see, the way the technology has evolved in over a decade, right? I mean, it is coming from, you can say, the laptops to mobile phones to now we have something that we are wearing everything. And at the same time, the way it has taken to the AI, right? Okay. The way of doing things have changed completely, right? And specifically in our product and tech world, it has changed so drastically, right? You have so many tools around you, right, to test it. Okay. So earlier, the learning curve used to be 18 months, right? In 18 months, the technology is to change. Okay, it came down to 6 months. Now in the AI age, it is just 3 days, right? Every day you are coming up with the new AI tools, correct? At the same time, it empowers you, okay, as a startup founder to build and test your ideas quickly. Okay, so you have a multiple tools out there, right? You have a Lovable, you have Replit. There are a lot of tools out there already, correct? So what you can do is instead of going through the traditional method, you can adopt those AI tools, okay, and test your idea, build your MVP in just fraction of you can say a day or two, right, and test it. At the same time, once that is done, then you can start focusing on the scalability, right? It cannot go together, to be very honest, right? Because scalability is a long-term journey, not the day one or the one day. Okay. So, but at the same time, you have to focus on that as well. Okay. The speed, I would always prefer speed when you are in the 0 to 1 stage. Okay. So when you are in the 0 to 1 stage, that means you are in a startup. Still, you are testing your idea. In that case, you need to utilize whatever the tools available, okay, in the market, and then utilize them, build it, okay, iterate it, and just you can say create a go-to-market strategy and test the product. That is something I would say. So always keep speed ahead of it when you are in the startup stage of the 0 to 1.
Okay. Second questions, I think with Raghavendra. So if we are moving with the speed of innovations as a hiring team, how we will balance the hiring for the skills versus hiring for the culture fit?
Yeah. So these are two ways which we have to look at, and definitely as a business plan, if I look at an Srini, definitely we will be having that. Okay, what are those skill set what we are going to be hire, right? If I do have a new skill, again we will get to the old skill, vanilla skill, niche skill. So when choosing the right resource, definitely with the current business also important along with the culture. I cannot see as a culture only is important, no culture along with the culture. If I at least I should be able to manage that with the 90-10%, right? Initially the technology is most important to drive the business. If that is there, everything will build. But at the same time, choosing that with this, we should have a at least 90-10 ratio where the hiring team can plan well in advance to get and you know have a discussion in detail where the fitment of that resource for the organization along with the journey of the organization to grow. So I think that's something is needed where adopting the new areas of shortlisting nowadays, everybody talk on the AI, right? So we as an organization has also been talking to the AI, how should able to make ourselves to be different in the market, and every day we cannot go orthodox with old level of hiring also. So we the customers also didn't expect it, because looking at how should I give the resources with the quality without going as a rejection. So the people have been rejecting a lot of way. So to do that, we are also trying to make ourselves in the AI where the culture fit meant definitely it is not involved. No AI can be defined. And to be very honest on the people centric approach, definitely nobody will do it. But technical association, that will be able, AI can help us. But on that AI, it is a personal interaction. Who is going to be hired has to be think on those lines with the questions where we used to be creating on the my organization, how what I need. So there where we should utilize AI come emotions, then we should have a right hire to the organization.
Okay, thank you, Raghavendra. So next question, Bhagsri. So how you will make your product visible to your investors? Because this is the general problem. If you are going to investor, they will ask, who is your competitor, right? Because you have to come up with that criteria as well. So how we should pitch as a startup founder?
Okay, so very right question to ask, because competition plays vital role. And when you design the product, when you address that pain point, what is the pain point you are addressing, right? If you think there is already competition in the product, or are you the niche product in the industry, or you are the first person getting into that domain person, right? I'll give the example of Canva. So when Canva came in, so that's what the startup, right? But they were addressing had a unique pain point. Ki non-designer also can become the designer. So there was no competition there with the designer. There were the designer tools as well, but they had a unique value proposition. Ki anybody can design. Designer also, non-designer also. So that USP was designed in that way, right? So that's the reason there was no competition and there was a growth potential, right? So suppose I say I'm in EdTech, and EdTech is too much. There are quite a brands in EdTech, but in EdTech, if you say I have come from the quantum, I'm giving this, there is a huge potential in coming years in quantum, and I'm specifically addressing that, and this is the value I'm bringing in, because that's a niche skill again. So that's the way you show the value and your USP to the investor. So definitely, it's urgency to the investor then. So you have to create the urgency to the investor, how unique you are. And that's the way, because you are in startups, so you can't have the big branding done and all those things. That doesn't matter also. But how unique you are addressing the problem, why you and why you now, that is very important. And when you do that, so funding is your baby.
Okay, thank you, Bhagsri. So, Srini, there was a one common problem whenever you are creating any product, right? There will be the two things. One was the features, right, and other thing was the innovations. So, according to you, how do you ensure customer feedback and tech-driven innovation stay aligned?
Okay. So first of all, we need to define what is innovation. Okay. So innovation is not something that you create something new. It can also mean that you are improving the existing solution, right, in a different way. Okay. With the, you can say the differentiator factor, right? Okay. So now I'll tell you, see, Ola did not invent any cars, right? The transportation was already there. Car was already there, right? They invented the business model around it. Same goes with the Uber, right? So how you're solving the problem, it is very important, and that is how we can talk about the innovation, right? So this is how the innovation works, right? Okay. So I think if it answers your question, if I think that covers it.
Yeah, that's nice, I think. So I am adding one questions from the Arun. What are all other perspective like legal compliances, etc., especially company registration? As a founder, we need to be aware and taken care of. So Raghavendra, so actually Arun was, I think, asking for what was the area where we should focus as part of compliance and legal. So can you just focus on that?
Yeah. See, initially any organization should start, I think definitely it is a company registration that has to be done, right? Once we done with the registration, this connected with the, PAN, maybe PAN, TAN of the company which has to be procured, right? So we have a limit of the GST, which will be the, up to 40 and based on the state also. So 40 lakh, whether billing has to be done, post that only can be registered, or some customer ask well in advance, right? Without GST, we will not able to deliver their requirement. Then nothing we can able to go up to the next level of maybe we can go and register ourselves with the GST department also. So later stages it will come in the when it is the labor law related. So maybe in the initially we have to have a shopson establishment when there is a professional tax which has to be registration has to be done. So then it will coming again with the once you start scaling up the maybe 10 people, then you have to go with the ESIC whether if there is somebody in the ESIC level. So then after 20 employees you should go to the provident fund. So post that you will be having again you wanted to receive the payment in advance with the large player, then you have to go to the MSME registration. So these are all very basic requirement of the any organization to take off to start their operations. So starting operation, company incorporation, PAN is and bank account is most enough, but to scale in the certain level where to take the business with the enterprise customer, these are all mandatory registration to get it. Right. I hope I answered most of the point. If anything is there where I can able to connect and I can help.
Yes, so I think this was the last questions, I think, from each speaker. So what will be the one last thing you will tell about product, people, and pitch, which will be at least audience can think about after this session, where they have to focus. So Raghavendra, maybe you can start from the people perspective.
Yeah, people again. I don't want to say HR is only the people, right? The people is one of the area of the recruitment if I say the right people, but HR is the overall from the start the organization, building the culture, following the statutory registrations or maybe statutory requirement to be fulfilled in the governments. Then you get into the hiring the people. So I believe HR is not only the people; it will have that other regulatory of aspects which is going to be help the your organization. So I say people centric with the statutory obligations which we have to be ensured to be reach out.
Okay, so Srini, what about the product?
Okay. For the product, it's very important that, like I mentioned before as well, that we need to focus on what exactly we're trying to solve. Okay, that is very important rather than focusing on the features. Okay, feature is just the bells and whistles of the product. Okay, we should be focusing more on the problem statement, what we're solving for, and that should be the center of the attraction for the products. And to drive that, technology should be the foundation. Okay, so technology, we can't ignore that. That is going to be today and tomorrow as well. Okay. So adoption of the technology, focusing on the right problem is very important.
Okay, thank you. And Bhagsiri, what about the pitch? You are in mute.
You are in mute.
Yeah. So as I rightly said, pain point, it matters a lot, right? So why you? Why now? And with trust, tenacity, and traction, and believe in your vision. So don't get away from that, what you believe in. Yes.
Thank you. So I think we have a 5 minutes for the audience questions. So it is open for floor. We can take at least maximum 1 or 2 questions. So anyone can start. If it's better, you raise the hand. Arun Sadik, I think. Yeah, Prashant.
Hi guys, good afternoon. My question is about suppose a guy is just finished the college at the age of 21. He will be having no connections with the industry. He will be able to get his first investor. I mean, how to get the investors at first since he is having no network in the industry.
Okay. Can I take that question,
Yes.
Prashant? Okay. Prashant, so I wanted to ask you, since you're looking for the investor, have you built something to show to the investor? That is the first question. Are you solving some of the problems?
No, I'm actually studying in final year. I'm trying to build some product while I'm trying to finish the college.
Okay. So first build the product, okay, at least for the MVP stage, right? And identify the problem, create a confidence, okay, that this is something that you can solve, okay, around the prototype itself. And then you look for the investor. Now to get an investor's attention is very important for you, right? And how you can find it. So there are many communities available, right? There are regional level, you can say campaigns available from the state government. We have the government initiative from the national, you can say organization as well, right? So there are a lot of, you can say community available, which you can join, okay, in your nearby location. At the same time, you have a multiple applications, right? Meetups, Eventbrite, okay. You can join those community and how you can reach out to the investor. And you also have the LinkedIn, correct? So you need to build first something around it first, and then you can create the network. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Srini. Yes, Adik, second you.
Yeah, this question is for Raghav. So, Raghav, what I saw is like most of the startup start as a part time, okay, and they face a lot of challenges in terms of onboarding the people, and they miserably fail because of they start with students, not with the professional approach. So, what's your view on this?
The part-time, I'm not able to, I'm not favor for that part-time, right? See, if somebody is wanted to be really the focus to do it, it is a full-time. And getting the people on the core job, definitely not for the part-time activity. If it has to be in a full-time, I know the cost constraint, but my vision should not be, vision should not be compromised because of cost, but I can say. So I believe in this case where we have a lot of organizations will work with very based on specific skill set, which are if they can give the better deliver on the startup side also. So I can say part-time may not able to help on this space.
Yeah, thank you.
Arun, I think third you have a
Yeah,
hands up.
question. Yeah, maybe this is towards Srini on tech side.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like 1 to 10, we will not be looking into the scale. That's what I understood. And then maybe 10 to 100, we have to, really have to look into the scale aspects, right? And that is surely required. But let's say when we start with, kind of a normal, because of speed requirement, we'll not be looking at the scale aspect because that may be an over engineering at that point of time. But when we go to 10 to 100, we really require the scaling. But will that be an overkill at that point of time? How do we handle or maybe manage these situations? Like what is your
Okay.
experience? How do you do it?
Okay. So scale is not on the 10 to 100 only. It is also in the 1 to 10. Okay. So 0 to 1 is something I was talking about where you're looking for the speed. Okay. So where you are just testing the idea. So in that case, you can, I'm not saying ignore that, but at the same time, think about it. Okay. Now your question is about how you can ignore. What was your question again so that I can understand
Yeah,
better?
so in the initial days, if we are not looking on the scale aspect, that was, but I think you
Yeah.
answered like we need to look into that one,
Yeah.
but we not be
Correct.
working on it. Right? Okay.
Exactly. You need to take care of all those things beforehand. Okay. It's not that you are executing on that front. Okay. But at least you should focus on that in a way that you are keeping that in mind. That's something we have to scale. But at the same time, it should be disposable, flexible, and agile as well. That is important.
Okay.
Okay.
So we
Otherwise,
we
otherwise you will be lost somewhere, chasing
Yeah.
something. That will be the problem. And at the same time, you will over engineer, and then you will spend more time on fixing those issues.
True.
That is the
Yeah.
problem. Right? Because when you over engineer something, right, there are a lot of people coming into the picture, right, just to break that. So that we have seen it many a time. What happens is in 0 to 1 journey, we have seen it. I've been working with founders, right? For time being, what they do is they go with some of the tools available in the market, which you should be using it. But at the same time, keeping the scale in mind is also very important. You should have all the track record. Okay, so this is something that we'll be using only for the 1 week. Okay, and this will dismantle it and we'll build it again because that is the learning from it, right? And that is something that we'll be focusing only for the MVP stage. And MVP stage, I'm not talking about that only for 1 week or 2 weeks. It can be a stretch for 3 to 4 months as well. Some of the products need that level of focus for the MVP development as well. But for that process, you should not be only focusing on the AI tools or something like that, right? There you need to focus on the scale, but the foundation level only, not execution level.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank
So
you.
I think
Thank
we have reached the time. We can take at least one more question and then we can close after that because 12:30 is already done. So yes, I think it will be the last question. Do you have any questions still? Yes.
Yeah. Hello. Yes. So I'm Yash here, and it's such a nice insight from all of you. My question is like coming from the engineering background and go domain into the deep tech startup, how the other corporate management role come into this point? Because me and my team is not much into that management role. So at a higher level hierarchy, how can we follow up with that? Consider, with technicality expertise.
Okay. So you talked about management, right? Can I take that question? Because he's
Yeah.
from engineering, I'm from engineering. So I think we
Yes,
can
please.
relate. Yeah, yes. So I think you're working on the deep tech startup, right? That's what I heard, right? So what
Yes,
are you
correct.
working on? What are the problem statement you're
So
solving?
so basically, in currently in industry, like in aviation, I'm completely from aviation. I mean sector, and
Mm-hmm.
what I see is like people are not directly connecting with the how aviation practically works on paper, and
Okay.
it's how it is working. But in a skill level, there's no. And what I want to say is, not everyone want to do research and PhD in a higher studies. But on paper,
Correct.
in a skill sector and industry, they don't get this hands-on experience. So what we are building is we are building our drone kits, which are different
Mm-hmm.
kind of add-ons, so that they can
Okay.
understand. Okay, drones is not only for flying; it's there is a different application, and they can understand. So for that also we are building everything in-house. This is like
Mm-hmm.
our vision, and we are also, I mean, brain part of drone is flight controller. So we are building from our side completely in-house from scratch, so that we can also adapt in every drone kit and add-ons that we want to do. So in
Okay.
industry, universities and higher secondary school, they can know about in a practical way, not that theoretical.
Got it. So, yes,
Yes.
this sector is completely regulated. Okay. And there is
Yes.
a compliance to be followed for this. Okay. So you need
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
seniors who can guide you in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is not
Okay.
just about the you can say hiring somebody who is from the management. Okay. You need somebody
Mm-hmm.
who has the experience of regulation and compliances for the drone technology. Okay. You
Okay.
need to find those people, get in touch with those people. Okay, who are there on the higher side of thing, wherein ministry is also involved. Okay, so you need
Okay.
to find
Yes.
those kind of people who have those level of touch. Okay, so but you will get them only when you are connecting them or finding doing some research about them. Okay, so it is not something
Mm-hmm.
that come to you because deep tech is something that government is promoting now, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I think there are many communities available. You should join that. That is something I would say.
Okay. Got
Okay,
it.
because otherwise, what will happen is, see, drone technology is completely regulated. So whatever you're building, okay, it should come under the
Yes.
compliances, right? So
Correct.
if you build something and it is not accepted in the market and by the government, that is a big challenge for you in that case,
Yes. I agree.
right?
Okay.
So you can
Yes.
save a lot of time here.
Yes. So you are, if I'm not wrong, I understood like you are saying someone is on higher expertise connected with the ministry so that we can get the updates so that we can follow on,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
At the same time, not
Someone. Oh,
only a ministry, I'm just giving you one of the example. I mean, there are
yes.
many people who
Okay.
are working on the drone industry. You can get in touch with them,
Yes.
join their community, right? Get an idea
So
what they are
Hmm.
building, how they are getting things done, all of this thing.
Okay.
So
Got
that
it.
you know the
Yeah,
reality, ground reality.
yeah. So yes, I
Got it.
think as you're coming from the drone background, right? So there are the multiple institute and even IIT Kanpur is working on the drone sector, right? So even you can explore their incubation
Yeah,
center. They are
incubation
even
center, correct.
Okay.
funding for multiple thing, even for quantum AI, 5G, and drone technology.
Yes.
So you can
Hmm.
explore and check on that site. So it will be really helpful. And even it was happy to see like from this is coming from the student sides, and we are trying to help
Yeah,
from even from CTO community to at least advise the thing for the few specific topic, which is really helpful from the experience, right? So
Okay.
we have a few students who is working on research and innovations by guidance of the few experts on the other technology,
Hmm.
not a specific drone. Mostly we are focusing on AI, quantum, and cyber security as of now. But I
Okay.
think that is just the insights. If anyone want, I have added the official email ID as well. Put up the email, and then maybe we can link and map with the correct advisor, because
Yeah.
directly we can't
Hmm.
give who will be there. Okay,
Got
even
it.
we don't know. Based on skills only, we are finding from our community if anyone can help you. Okay, so I think closing on that part, and it was hope it will be helpful for everyone who has joined today call. And it is just the first session. We have tried especially dedicated to startups. Before that, as we told, we were running for the senior leaders and tech leaders. But going forward soon, we will cover the other important topics which really startups need, even personal branding and as well as on the official branding, right? Both matter. So going forward, we are focusing on the different aspects where startup need also focus, not only on the technical part. So that is the thing. Raghavendra, Srini and Vagsiri, I think thank you so much. I think we were, and Srini especially, I think we got, I think his ability in the last minute even yesterday. So thank you so much, Srini. You were, I think, coming via flight, what we got to know. But yeah, you joined. It was very insightful. And I think looking forward for another sessions, and we'll be in connect for that. Anyone, Prashant, Abhijit, Sadiq, you want to add? Otherwise, we are going to close.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just from my side, like, thank you for all the sessions. It was really informative and useful. Maybe if something is, can we connect link it through LinkedIn or other ways?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
share all
definitely.
the details. I have all the LinkedIn connect, so that is the CTO community will share whoever need exact details. We are not mostly sharing everything in publicly. Few other groups till this time we have tried to share, so they will also get the insights what we are trying to do to filling the gap between the leadership startups and even the student startup, right? So that is the thing we are thinking. So Arun, we will connect with you anyway.
Yeah,
He is a part
I'll
of
talk to
our,
you.
he's a one member of our CTO community, and we are from the IT Kanpur CTO batch. So
Cool.
we'll connect. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I think.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. It's
We'll-
such an insightful
Thank you.
session.
Bye.
yeah. It's a
Thank
very
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye,
Thank
Raghavendra. Bye,
you.
Bhageshri. Bye,
Bye.
Richa.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Prashanta.
Have
Bye-bye.
a great weekend, guys. Thank
Stay
you.
in
Thank
touch.
you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Yeah. We'll connect with each one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
you.
sure.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Thanks. Bye. I'm stopping the recording.